Star-Lord leads his fellow team members Gamora, Drax the Destroyer, Rocket Racoon, and Groot into raiding an alien prison to spring Yondu. They learn from him that Korath, the Pursuer, has a Spartax artifact that he plans to give to Thanos. After getting the artifact from Korath the Pursuer, the Guardians of the Galaxy head to Nowhere, a colony in the severed head of a Celestial. While Drax, Rocket Racoon, and Groot's stick form meet Cosmo the Space Dog, who is the head of security on Nowhere, Star-Lord learns from an alien broker that he is part Spartax. When Korath, the Pursuer's group, and Yondu's Ravagers attack the Guardians of the Galaxy to claim the Spartax artifact, Nowhere starts to come to life and ensnare everyone. After the cosmic seed caused Nowhere to be briefly awakened and Groot to be overpowered by its energies, Korath, the Pursuer, snatches Star-Lord and Gamora in order to force Star-Lord to open the box for him by using a parasite that makes Gamora relive her sins. Following the rescue of Star-Lord and Gamora, Thanos leads his fleet into attacking Nowhere in order to claim the Star Seed's box. As Star-Lord uses the Continuum Cortex in Nowhere to fight Thanos' fleet, Groot helps Drax, the Destroyer, fight Thanos. Eventually, Cosmo uses Nowhere's technology to transport the Guardians of the Galaxy and Nowhere to a distant galaxy. After leaving Nowhere, Star-Lord discovers that the Cosmic Seed's box is a map to the Cosmic Seed. After the Guardians of the Galaxy narrowly escape a planet that Fin Fang Foom was on, Rocket Racoon accepts an offer to work for the Collector, while the rest of the Guardians of the Galaxy look for special Pandorian crystals needed to power the map to the Star Seed. What the rest of the Guardians of the Galaxy do not know is that the Collector has plans to add Rocket Racoon to his collection of alien creatures, due to him being the last of his kind. The Guardians crash land on a space station called Conjunction, which is run by Grandmaster. The Grandmaster seeks to have Drax and Gamora fight each other in the Conjunction arena. The Guardians of the Galaxy look for Pandorian crystals from Star-Lord's old contact named Lunatic. They must also keep themselves from being busted by Nova Corps member named Titus. On a planet where the next Pandorian crystal is, the Guardians of the Galaxy find a race of aliens that are under attack by the rock-like Rexians. They fight them off. Afterwards, the Guardians go on a journey to save Groot. Groot becomes infected with the same parasitic fungus that possessed the Rexians. They also try not to get into conflict with the persistent Titus. Titus apprehends the Guardians of the Galaxy when they try to infiltrate the Nova Corps headquarters on Sander, even after preventing Supergiant from escaping from her prison and preventing a spaceship from crashing. As part of a deal with Titus, the Guardians infiltrate a notorious gang of weapons dealers called the Black Order, the same group that Supergiant works for, which also consists of Ebony Maw, Proxima Midnight, Corvus Glaive, and Black Dwarf, who have been sighted on the desert planet of Ilsel 4. The Black Order plans to obtain the universal weapon that was previously used by Ronan the Accuser and give it to Thanos. Since Ronan the Accuser has been dead, Nova Prime informs the Nova Corps that there is a power vacuum left by Ronan the Accuser's death, where Korath the Pursuer, Nebula, and Gamora have been competing to be Thanos' new general. The other Guardians of the Galaxy members do not know it yet, but Gamora has come up with a plan to pit Korath, the Pursuer, and Nebula against each other by pretending to betray the Guardians of the Galaxy. While at an abandoned mining facility on an unnamed planet, the Guardians of the Galaxy are attacked by super-evolved symbiotes. They end up running into Yondu's Ravagers, who are after the Cosmic Seed's map while trying to avoid the symbiotes. After escaping both enemies, the Guardians of the Galaxy are unaware that one symbiote stowed away. The symbiote ends up possessing Groot, trapping Gamora and Drax in a cocoon, and changing the destination to Hala so that the symbiotes can invade other planets. While Rocket Racoon goes to great lengths to save Groot, Star-Lord must go to great lengths to protect the Cosmic Seed map, even when the Ravagers catch up. Rocket Racoon is abducted and taken back to his home planet Halfworld. Rocket finds that all the animal life, including his family, have become just as enhanced as he is. When the rest of the Guardians of the Galaxy arrive on Halfworld, they end up helping Rocket Racoon to fight the evolved Turtle Pyko, who leads his fellow evolved creatures Ranger, who is Rocket Racoon's brother, Blackjack O'Hare, an evolved hare, and Walrus, an evolved walrus, on a rebellion against the Half-World robots that evolved them. The Guardians of the Galaxy encounter a living moon called Mandala, which starts to make Gamora, Drax, Rocket Racoon, and Groot act like they were before they all met, as a way for Mandala to play with them. Star-Lord must work to get them back to normal, even when Nebula uses Mandala's life-giving powers and a special seed to resurrect Ronan the Accuser. When they need to get a repulsor generator to get through a gravity storm, the Guardians of the Galaxy cut a deal with the Collector on Nowhere. In exchange for the repulsor generator, the Guardians of the Galaxy must deliver a herd of Moombas to Conjunction in 2 days. Drax is cautious around the Moombas. The Collector even warns them to feed them nothing but grass, as anything else can make them explode. The Guardians of the Galaxy take the Moombas away from the Nova Corps. They are soon targeted by the Ravagers, who have been hired by the Grandmaster to take the explosive Moombas back to the Collector. The Guardians of the Galaxy get caught up with the Inhumans' royal family at the time when they have come down with a plague. The Inhumans must protect their spacefaring city of Attilan from Ronan the Accuser, as well as thwart the takeover plans of Maximus and his crystallized alpha primitives. The Guardians of the Galaxy come across the destroyer armor on the planet Retsma. Rocket Racoon activates it during an attack by the Black Order. When the destroyer armor is brought to Nowhere, Rocket Racoon uses it to deal with a bar patron that insulted him until he starts to lose control. Drax goes up against the destroyer armor to see who is the better destroyer, even when Loki shows up on Nowhere. While on Spartax, Star-Lord goes missing when he was translating the readings of the Crypto-Q. Meanwhile, the others dodge the Spartax security force when the statue of Emperor Jason is accidentally damaged, where they have an encounter with Mantis. As Jason meets with the Galactic Council members Thor, Irani Rael, the Grand Commissioner of Rigel, and the Supreme Intelligence, Star-Lord meets his half-sister Captain Victoria as they are sent on a diplomatic mission to have one of Spartax's asteroid refineries given to the Kree Empire. Meanwhile, the rest of the Guardians of the Galaxy stumble upon a plan by Ronan the Accuser and Nebula to blow up the Supreme Intelligence's ship with the asteroid refinery rigged to explode. During an unveiling ceremony during Jason's meeting with Thor, Drax the Destroyer gets into a fight with Thor over who's the real destroyer, which causes the latest statue of Jason to be destroyed. As a result, Jason bans Drax the Destroyer, Gamora, Rocket Racoon, and Groot from his palace while telling Star-Lord to give up on finding the Cosmic Seed. Upon reactivating the transportation device at Nowhere, upon reclaiming the Crypto-Cube and finding some devices to help them, Star-Lord and the rest of the Guardians of the Galaxy suddenly find themselves in Asgard. While trying to figure out the origins of the Cosmic Seed, they must outwit Thor and Angela, who have been tricked by Loki into thinking that they are invading on behalf of Spartax. Following a falling out with his father, Star-Lord finds a ship containing the AI Aurora as he takes it off of Spartax with Drax the Destroyer and Groot, providing a diversion for the Spartax Royal Guards. Afterwards, the Guardians of the Galaxy have to deal with Lucy and Supergen, who are jilted that Star-Lord is the Prince of Spartax. Asgard has declared war on Spartax. After Captain Victoria secretly frees the Guardians of the Galaxy, they must fight their way past Jason's robots and get to Thor in order to obtain proof that Loki stole the Cosmic Seed from Jason. To make matters worse, Loki takes control of the Destroyer armor in order to attack both sides. Upon Jason signaling him to Spartax, Thanos arrives where he makes off with Star-Lord so that he can operate the Crypto-Q. The Guardians of the Galaxy must work together with Thor, Angela, and the Destroyer armor to rescue Star-Lord before Thanos can use the Crypto-Cube's powers to find the Cosmic Seed. In the end, Jason is arrested and removed from his position as Emperor of Spartax, as the Crypto-Cube was destroyed. Quill had a dream which revealed where the Cosmic Seed is located: Earth. Gamora attempts to make amends for her past misdeeds, starting with returning the gravity matrix that Ronan the Accuser made her steal from the planet Suneth. Upon arrival and confronting the planet's inhabitants, she is attacked by Nebula and brought to Ronan the Accuser on Conjunction so that Grandmaster can broadcast her trials across the galaxy. Her first opponent is Wraith, whose father jumped into a black hole with his invention upon being brought to Ronan the Accuser. Then she fights Jarhead, who Gamora reduced to a brain in a jar. Her final opponent is an elemental beast whose species used to be numerous across the galaxy. Now the rest of the Guardians of the Galaxy must rescue her and reclaim the gravity matrix. The Guardians visit the Inhumans on Attilan, where Star-Lord has gotten approval of Black Bolt to interrogate Maximus about what he knows about the Cosmic Seed. Upon Maximus tricking Star-Lord, he breaks free, where he plots to take over the minds of the other Inhumans and using a Terrigen cannon on the closest planet. Now the Guardians of the Galaxy and the Inhuman royal family must work to thwart Maximus' plans and re-imprison him. The Guardians discover that the Cosmic Seed is back on Earth. In the company of Cosmo, Star-Lord returns to his hometown, where he runs into his childhood bully Michael Coogan, who is now the sheriff. Now Star-Lord and the Guardians of the Galaxy must find the cosmic seed before Korath the Pursuer does. When the Guardians of the Galaxy's search for the cosmic seed continues on Earth, Star-Lord contacts Gorgon where he gets the location of the former site of Attilan. While checking out the area, Rocket Racoon, Groot, and Drax the Destroyer have visions of the cosmic seed energy, helping them out, like Rocket Racoon's family being re-evolved, Groot being able to restore the Flora Colossi, and Drax the Destroyer being able to see his family again, included Gamora, to recover their memories. Even after fighting their way past the cosmic seed-enhanced worms and spiders, the Guardians of the Galaxy must keep Ronan the Accuser and Nebula from getting the box containing the cosmic seed. Now that Thanos has the cosmic seed, he takes control of the Earth and molds it into his personal planetary weapon of mass destruction. The Guardians of the Galaxy must work to reclaim the cosmic seed from Thanos, even when Ronan the Accuser and Nebula plan to dispose of Thanos, with plans of having the Earth be destroyed alongside him. The Guardians of the Galaxy discover that Yondu and 4 of his Ravagers have been impersonating them in order to con the unsuspecting victims of Floodworld, where they unleash a hydrated Groom for them to fight and then dehydrate it while robbing their houses. When it comes to the latest heist, the rampaging Groom swallows Star-Lord and Yondu. While Star-Lord and Yondu work to get out of the Groom, the rest of the Guardians of the Galaxy and the Ravagers must work to subdue the Groom. Following their apprehension of the collusion fugitive Ultru on Nowhere, the Guardians of the Galaxy learn about Star-Lord wanting to celebrate Christmas upon Cosmo reading his mind, as well as his bad Christmas experience with the Ravagers. When they discover that their employer is a despot named Niza, and that Ultru was right about him, the Guardians of the Galaxy take a page out of A Christmas Carol in order to set the superstitious Niza straight and get the collusion civilians out of bankruptcy.